morning students of class 9. Today we are going to revise chapter 12, the Reformation, because some of the students they said that there is problem in this chapter, so we are going to revise it again. The Reformation, the previous chapter was Renaissance and the next one is Reformation. So there is link between these two chapters, because we know that Renaissance started a spirit of inquiry to look about ourselves. Yes, there were many things in Europe at that time which were badly affecting the lives of the people. Among them, our main focus will be on the religious system, the religious form that were practiced in Europe at that time. Yes, and we all know that in Europe the religion is Christianity, and the church, the priests, they were very powerful at that time, and they were indulged in many corrupt and bad practices which ultimately affected the lives of the people, and in this way their life became miserable. They actually affected the peasants, the middle class. Yes, so after Renaissance, when people became aware, they started questioning about the church, the practices that were followed at that time. They were actually starting protest against those bad rules. Yes, so this was, we can say, Reformation. Yes, so Reformation, it means a change. When it is a positive thing, okay, when we start changing ourselves, it is called Reformation. And religious Reformation we are actually discussing, that in Europe we have just discussed that in religion there were many bad, evil things, and after being aware, after spreading of awareness in Europe, the church started changing itself. They are now keeping aside all the bad practices of that time because of the protest of the people, which actually started in the wake of Renaissance. Yes, so in 16th century many religious movements started in Europe, among which that we are discussing was one of them. So this was the concept of Reformation. Yes, what were the causes of what were the reasons which were the bad practices, which were the corrupt practices were being followed by the church at that time? Why people were dissatisfied with the church? Let's discuss this, and after that we will come to know that yes, there was a need to reform the church and the religious practices of Christianity at those times in 16th century. So first thing was that by which people were dissatisfied, that the very illiterate people, those who had no knowledge of Bible, and those people who did not know what is the religious duty, what are the religious duties. Yes, they actually these kind of peoples came into church. The wealthy persons came into church, the unskilled, we can say unqualified people took the posts of the church, and they were just engaged them in making money, and they were enjoying the materialistic things. They were leading at that time a luxurious life, and they also wanted to gain political power also. All these things, can we say that they were religious? They were monks? They were priests? Obviously no. Yes? So this was the first reason for the dissatisfaction of the people towards the church, towards the Christianity at that time. The second thing that, the second reason is that the priests were promising salvation to the people. The letter of indulgence was a kind of paper actually which was sold by the priests in the church, and it was said that if someone has done wrong in his life, if he writes his misdeeds, his sins on the paper, and then automatically his all sins that he has done through his life will be forgiven by the God, and by giving this greed to the people, they were earning a lot, because we all know that we all are somewhere corrupt, we all are somewhere dishonest. Yes, so people thought that it is a very golden opportunity just to buy the that letter of indulgence and just write all the sins that we have done, and the God will forgive us. So it was just to attract the people and just to make money. In this way we are actually making money. Okay, it is good that accepting our fault is another thing, but in this way it will encourage also that it will encourage to the people to do some kind of fault. People will willingly do many wrong deeds, and because they know that after buying that letter and after writing those sins, they were free from all kind of sins of their life. Yes, we can say. So this was one of the corrupt, we can say, the bad practice of church at that time. We also know that simony was a practice, we can say, in church that offered the highest bidder, who ultimately occupied the post. Suppose there are many posts in the church and the people were used to give a huge amount of wealth to occupy that post, and suppose there is just one post and there are 2, 3, 4, 5 people are in a queue, that and in this practice, one person, the individual that will announce the highest amount, that will occupy that post. So this practice was called simony. We can see that once again, like the letter of indulgence, it was also to make money, and these things were going on in the church, and the priests were involved in such kind of practices. Nepotism, we all know that the church, the priests in the church, the priests, they were favoring, they were actually doing partiality, and they were giving, distributing the posts among their family members, relatives, friends, and thus they stopped the qualified, the deserving people from entering into the church, and that's why there was negativity started in the church. All the bad things started in the church, and which ultimately gave the people a chance to protest, to raise their voice against the church, their religion actually, against these such bad practices. And after there is one more important thing, Peter Pen's penny. It was a kind of money, coins that were used to give by the people to build a church, and that name was St. Peter's Church. So people were giving the money, and the church used to collect those money, and by this the church was used to make, in the form of this, they were taking money from the people. And one more important thing I just forgot to say you, that tithe was a kind of tax that was used to collect by the church, the priests, and it was 1/10 of the produce, and the farmers, the peasants, they used to give such kind of taxes to the church. Okay, so in this way, in the beginning that we have said that some of the bad practices of church, they affected the lives of common people, the peasants, farmers, and the middle class. So just we have seen that these were the problems in the Christianity, in the religion of Europe, and the church and the priests were involved in such kind of all evil things. And thus, due to Renaissance, the Reformation started, church started changing itself. They now keeping aside all the bad things, and they are, we can say that they reached at the stage in the situation where from them they thought about their nativity, and they just started leading towards in the positive direction, and all the bad things, all the bad practices, corruption were kept aside from the church. And now that we are practicing the church, the practices of religious duties of church, the rules of religion in the Christianity, now it is a good one, and earlier it was bad one. So after Reformation, now the established practices of church, now the things that are happening in the church, in the Christianity, it is good one, and this was the result. The present system of Christianity, the present religion of Christianity is pure one, and this has been done only by the protest of the people, and when people protested, then this religion changed itself in positive manner, and thus it was the topic of Reformation. Some of the parts that I might have missed, I will try to cover